Hi, Democrats. Today is Tuesday, November 1st, and it's time for the Chair's Daily Live. Happy Tuesday. 7 days. We are 1 week, 7 days away from the election on November 8th. We are 1 day away from early in-person voting. So if you've made a decision that you're going to vote early in person, you have starting tomorrow all the way through Saturday at 2 o'clock, I believe, maybe noon, depending on your county, to vote early in person. And then, Tuesday is the big day. Now, if you requested your absentee ballot and your plan was to vote via absentee ballot, I'm going to encourage you to not put it in the mail. Do not put it in the mail. Hand deliver your absentee ballot, please, please, please. And if you and you can do it anytime up through Monday at 5 p.m. at your county election board, not at your precinct, not at whatever election board you happen to be passing on your way to work. It needs to be your county election board. So you have until Monday at 5 at your county election board to turn in your absentee ballot if you have it. I'm going to discourage you from mailing it because at this point, being 7 days out, we're not sure if it's going to make it there. And you'd hate to have gone through all of that trouble of doing your research, coloring in your boxes, having it notarized to only get there Wednesday. So if you still have your ballot, I'm encouraging you to hand deliver it so that we know that it gets there. And this is the importance of making a plan. It's the importance of making a plan. It's not just enough to say, I'm going to request my absentee ballot, but are you going to be like my mom, who requested her absentee ballot the day it got in the mail? She colored in all of her boxes, drove by the tag office and got it notarized and dropped it off at the post office on the same day. She's an overachiever. Are you that person? Are you the person who carries it around, does your research, has it in the dash of your car and you're driving around with it? Are you that person? If you're that person, if you're the second person and you still have it, I'm going to encourage you to hand deliver it. When you hand deliver it, they're going to ask you for your ID. Even though everything's going to be sealed and they're not going to open it, they're going to ask you for your ID. So don't show up, don't get out the car and only grab that envelope and go running in. Grab that envelope and your ID and go running in so that you can get that turned in. And you can only turn in your own. You can't turn in your cousin, you can't turn in your grandma, you can't turn in your spouse. You can only turn in your own. Doesn't matter if they live in the same household. Doesn't matter if everybody is going to have to be driving there, making it all special trip, global warming, any of that kind of stuff. Everybody has to turn in their own ballot, and you have to show an ID to turn in your own ballot. So just want to make sure you guys get there. We are 7 days out. Make your plan. Make your plan and follow through. I requested my absentee ballot. I didn't put mine in the mail. I never mail mine back because I'm paranoid. I always hand deliver mine. So that is still my plan this year. But make your plan and help other people make a plan. And I'm telling you, y'all don't care. I'm telling you because people are 8 times more likely to actually follow through with their plan to vote if they articulate it, if they tell someone their plan. So this is me telling my plan. So I'm encouraging you to do the same thing. Don't just have your plan. Make sure you share your plan with other folks. All right. So it is important. Everybody says every election in my lifetime has been the most significant election in our lifetime. And here's the reality. It used to make me mad when I was in my 20s and 30s and I heard people say it. But it makes me mad now when someone says it and people say, ugh, because here's the reality. With each election season, there are more rights that are being threatened because our rights aren't static. With each election season, there are more rights that are being threatened. There are more things that impact your life that are on the ballot. And so in this election season, that's where we are. Decency is on the ballot, right? Today is the first day of Native American Heritage Month. How about folks in Oklahoma who are watching me? How about we honor our Native American neighbors, communities, and for some of you, family, and vote for the gubernatorial candidate who supports tribal sovereignty. And let me give you a hint, that is not Kevin Stitt, who has threatened tribal sovereignty since the moment he crossed the threshold as governor. He's sued about it. He's trying to break treaties. He publicly defames Native American leaders. How about, in honor of Native American Heritage Month, we vote for the candidate who isn't trying to destroy tribal sovereignty? How about we vote for the candidate that our tribal leaders historically got together to endorse this cycle, being Joy Hoffmeister? It's Native American Heritage Month. Go learn something, right? Go learn something. We all do better when we know and can empathize with the folks who are around us. We do better with how we vote. We do better with how we make decisions about where we live, who we love, when we are exposed and we learn more about other folks. So that's my little tidbit. I want to make sure that I acknowledge today is the first day of Native American Heritage Month, and we all are to learn more about folks, particularly those of us who live in Oklahoma, who has the most amount of most in number of federally recognized tribes. I don't think we have the most amount of tribal citizens living in our state, but we do have the most amount of federally recognized tribes, and we should learn about that. All righty. Decency is on the ballot. Decency. Let's not vote for the person who is trying to go back on treaties that are hundreds of years old. Let's not vote for someone who wants to introduce the government in between you and your medical decisions. Let's not vote for someone who thinks only the special should get a quality education, right? Decency is on the ballot. It's in the Oklahoma State Constitution that will provide public education. Meanwhile, our current governor and his pals are trying to defund public education. The end result of the voucher scheme, the end result of a successful voucher scheme, that there will be some young people for whom access to quality education will be severely limited, if not possible, not attainable. That is the end result of the voucher scheme. They're going to keep whittling away at public schools, and which means that more of them are going to have to join, and they're going to be further away from the home. That is the end result of a successful voucher scheme. That right now, where your young people have access to a neighborhood school, there will be 1 or 2 schools per county, particularly in some of our larger rural counties. That's the end result of a successful voucher scheme, because it is defunding public education. And the thing about it is that they keep their promises, and that's what they're promising to do. What we have to do is thwart that by not letting them get elected. It's time for Kevin Stitt to go back to being a businessman. Let's let that happen. Ryan Walters was appointed to the state position, which he clearly isn't invested in doing right, because he keeps writing memos on it that he's not supposed to, and he's not even writing them grammatically correctly. Let's let him go back to being the guy who works for the nonprofit that's working on trying to defund schools. Just let him go and do that, and elect Gina Nelson. We have choices. We have choices, and our democracy is at stake. We will only continue to have choices as long as we continue to protect our democracy. And we are under an attack of our democracy. So when I say decency, and why am I talking about decency today? Not because we should be talking about it, because I made the mistake of watching the news this week. I know it's only Tuesday, but I've been watching the news this week, and I'm watching people be disgusting and dismissive about what happened to Paul Pelosi. People are joking about it and using it as a punchline. People are talking about it in a derisive manner in their campaign speeches. I can't say that that's not who we are, because apparently it is. But it's not who we have to be. We can vote for decency. We can vote for decency, and we should vote for decency. So we have choices. As a reminder, as if you guys don't know, we have 2 Senate seats in this election cycle. That's a thing that just rarely ever happens. We have 2 Senate seats. Please go out and learn who Kendra Horn is and who Madison Horn is. We have 5 congressional seats. We all live in a congressional district. That means that every citizen of Oklahoma has someone to vote for Congress. Every Democrat in Oklahoma has a Democrat to vote for Congress. In Congressional District 1, we have Adam Martin, 2, Naomi Andrews, 3, Jeremiah Ross, 4, Mary Brannon, 5, Joshua Harris Till. Then the governor's office. You guys have heard about it. You've seen the commercials, but it is vitally important that we don't keep the current guy. He told us as much during the debate that he has given up on our state. He's given up on moving us forward, and he's going to use the rest of his time making sure he continues to enrich himself and his friends. The top 10 state was aspirational and something that we're never going to get. That's what he said.
So as a leader and governor, and whether you're CEO, you have to set a vision for all of your employees and for all the states. So being top 10 is an aspirational goal. It's something that we're never going to hit.
So stop putting in your commercials. Stop bragging about how we're there. We're not there, and you have no plan to get us there. That simple. We're not there, and you have no plan or even hope that we can get there. I want to vote for someone who wants to get us out of the bottom 10 of so many negative indices that we're hanging out in. I want to vote for someone who believes that it's possible. He just told us he doesn't believe it's possible. We have a choice. We have a choice. He just said he's not going to try to make it better. He's not going to try to get us in a top 10 because he doesn't think we can ever get there. I live here on purpose. I'm the only one of my siblings who still lives here. I live here on purpose. I don't want to believe that we can't do better. And I think that the way we do better is that we elect better. And we have a better candidate on the ballot. And her name is Joy Hoffmeister. So educate yourselves. So it's not just the governor. We also have superintendent of public instruction, which imagine if we had a governor and a superintendent of public instruction who were on the same page. Imagine what that could do for education. We have corporation commissioner, labor commissioner, state treasurer. I think I got them all. We have over 30 state house candidates. We have several state senate candidates that need your attention. They need your help. I was on Facebook today. I saw at least 3 candidates asking for help, putting out signs and knocking doors. They need your help. We at the office need your help making phone calls and sending texts. There are things that you can be doing to save our democracy. There are things that you can be doing without even leaving your house, although the weather is great. There are things that you can be doing to save our democracy. At the very minimum, I'm requesting that you make a plan to vote and help other folks make their plan to vote and cast your vote. We have 7 days, folks. 7 days. Early voting starts tomorrow. Early in-person voting at your county election board. You can start casting your vote tomorrow. Cast your vote tomorrow and go help some other folks on the next days. Cast your vote tomorrow. Help drive folks to the ballot box because they all can vote at the county election board. You can drive folks to the ballot box all the way through Saturday. This is a turnout game. The polls are the polls, but they are a snapshot. And they are only real if we vote, if we all show up, and if we show up in numbers that they're not predicting. We can do it. We just have to have the will. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back here tomorrow at 4:15. You guys have a great evening.